Hey, everybody. Welcome to Friday. What is today? May 6th, 2022. Welcome, everybody. This is going to be a cool session. I'm going to actually walk you through the 5 steps that I did to start running, grow an online business, actually several online businesses. So you want to stick around to the very end. I'll give you the exact process that I went through and exactly what you can do and how to be successful at this. It's not that hard once you get a certain concept that's going to be number one in just a second. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button down there. Turn it from red to gray. Make use of this chat box, guys. I'm over here watching it. I can respond to you in real time. Any questions you want to ask me, I'm there for you. Give me a thumbs up. Also smash that thumbs up button. This is my little advertisement before we get going. I don't sell anything on this channel. If you want to buy something from me, if you want to join one of my courses, you'll find that in the description below. So, at any point you want to do that, that's fine. I never talk about that stuff. Also, don't forget to ring the bell. Don't forget to ring the bell, because when you turn on all your bell notifications, guess what? When you turn on all the bell notifications, you'll know when I upload a video or if I go live. So you want to do that. It's super, super important. So guys, there's only 5 things you need to do to be successful. And it's interesting because I remember when I first sold my first item online, it was $10. And I was so excited about it. As a matter of fact, I was a single dad. I was still working my day job. And my kids were in the family room, and I came running in there and I said, I sold something online. And they were like, wow, that's really cool. I said, I know, right? Somebody gave me money online. They said, how much did you sell? And I said, $10. And they both looked at each other like I was insane. They were like, okay, but that wasn't it. The thing was, I knew if I could sell $10, I could sell 20 or 100 or 1,000 or 1,000,000. And I have. I've sold millions of dollars online. And I want to walk you through that process today. I want you to understand it, because once you get this in your brain, guys, you're indestructible. You are just indestructible. I think you're really going to enjoy this. And it's funny, the other day I was talking to a friend of mine, and he knew me when I was in my past job, and I used to manage car dealerships. And he was in the service department. He was a service guy. He's been a service writer and manager, and he works at a Ford dealership now, and he's the number 2 guy at a body shop. And it's funny because he's worked, I think, 4 or 5 places in that 12 years since I left the dealership, about 4 or 5 places. He's moved to different states and all kinds of stuff. And he's the number 2 guy at a body shop. Okay, so just kind of get that in your brain. And I was talking about my business, and he was talking about it, and he was saying, gosh, you really got lucky, which I hate when people say that, because there's zero luck to this stuff. I mean, there's luck, but it's created luck. And I'll talk about that in a second too. But I said, do you remember when I quit and everybody thought I was crazy, to quit? Because I had a decent paying job. It wasn't like, I was making minimum wage or anything. I had a decent paying job. And he says, yeah, that was a huge gamble, but it looks like you got lucky and it paid off. That's what he said to me. He says, yeah, that was a huge gamble, but it looks like you got lucky and it paid off. And I thought to myself, what is a gamble? What is a gamble? Is a gamble going and working for yourself and doing things that you want to do and depending on yourself to make things happen? Is that a gamble? Or is a gamble staying on your current job and doing what somebody else tells you to do and let them control your life? Which is the bigger gamble? What do you think is the bigger gamble? Now, you may say, well, JR, at least I've got security. I've got this job and I've got security, right? This is a very secure job. I got news for you. There's no such thing as a secure job, because whoever's running that company could make a mistake and they could go out of business. Whoever's running that company could decide they don't like you tomorrow and they could fire you. Whoever's running that company could just not like you and want to mess with you and make your life miserable. Whoever is running that company could say, we're paying JR too much. We got to pay him less money. I've had that said to me too in my career, where they'd say, well, you earned too much money last month. And I was on a commission. And I'm like, well, how do you earn too much money if you're on commission? You decided on the pay plan. They said, yeah, we're going to change it. We've got to change it because you're making too much money. I actually heard that. So guys, let me go through the 5 steps. The first step is going to be the most difficult for you to wrap your brain around. The first step is to change your brain. That's it. This is the first step. First of 5 steps is to change your brain. And here's what I mean by that. You need to start looking at things entirely differently. If you want to make it online, if you want to make it your own business, you've got to look at things differently. And the first thing is to change your brain. And here's what I mean. You are not the job that you do right now. Am I a dishwasher? Do I look like a dishwasher to you? Well, I mean, I am in the evening when I'm straightening up the kitchen, but that was one of the first jobs I had. I was a dishwasher. And I also worked as an usher in a movie theater. I also drove a forklift at a pickle factory. I also bussed tables. I also waited tables. I also was a bartender. Am I any of those things? The answer is no. You're a digital marketer, JR, because that's what you're doing right now. You see, too often, and this is why I say you got to change your brain, you are associating your income, your self-worth, your self-esteem, everything with your job. It's a job. It's just something you selected to do right now. The first thing you got to do is change your brain. You are not what you're currently doing. You're not that. That's just a thing that you're currently doing. I am not a dishwasher. I am not a forklift driver right now, right? But I've done those things. And I guess at the moment I was that thing, but you can change that. That can be changed in an instant. It can be changed. You've got to understand that this thing you've been doing all these years, whether you're a nurse or a cashier or, you know, a real estate salesperson or whatever it is, you're not that thing. That thing is just what you're doing. So you've got to get that in your brain. When I told people, you know, this is number 1, change your brain. We got 4 more, okay? When I told people I was going to go online and sell stuff, whatever that stuff was, okay? They told me I was crazy. And they told me I was crazy for a lot of reasons. But the first reason was that I'd never done it before, okay? Which is the most ridiculous logic in the world. Any job that you have right now that you didn't do before is the first time you did it. Okay, so it doesn't matter that you haven't done these things before. Don't get wrapped up in thinking, well, I didn't do this before, so I won't be able to do it. That has nothing to do with everything you do right now. You didn't do before. Everything. I don't care if it's walking and talking. At one point, you didn't do that. Okay, so you've got to stop this beating yourself down of saying, well, I haven't done that, so I can't do that. You've got to totally change your brain. If I can get you through this first step of changing your brain, if I can walk you through what that really looks like, if I can say to you, you know what, Jenny, Mark, Paul, Tom, you guys start putting your names in the chat section. There's a bunch of you here. Put your name in the chat section so I can call you by your right name. But if I say to you, you know, hey, you could go do this, or that, you could do anything you want. You know, your limitations are between about 6 inches right here. That's where your limitations are. And they can be changed. I remember an interview with Elon Musk, and he started SpaceX, and he was being interviewed on 60 Minutes. And the interviewer on 60 Minutes said, how in the world did you start a rocket company? How did you start this rocket company that has become one of the most successful space programs in the world? You're not a government. You're not a rocket scientist, the guy said to him. And Elon leaned over and he said, there's books. There's books. You can learn anything. You can learn anything. Now, once you've got your brain switched a little bit to where you're not saying to yourself, I am a car salesman, I am a cashier, I am a, you know, I don't know, whatever your job is, an engineer, whatever it is. As soon as you stop doing that, the world opens up to you. As soon as you stop doing that, you start realizing all the other things you could be, all the other things you could do. But the first thing you have to do is start to realize that you are not your job. Okay. Now we're going to get to number 2. Number 2, get started. Get started. Here's what happens with people. They plan and they plan and they plan and they take courses. Okay. They take courses. They take so many courses. They read so many books. They watch so many videos. They do all this stuff. Okay. But guess what? They don't get started. And why is that? Because they are looking for the thing that's going to work. right? Which sounds reasonable, right? They look for the thing that works. When Elon Musk started his rocket company, he crashed some rockets, okay? They crashed. And when people would say to him, oh my God, that's such a shame. That's so horrible, your rockets crashed. And Elon said, no, it's a really good thing. You know, now we know what doesn't work. Now we know what doesn't work. You've got to get started, and you won't have a plan to get started. And, you know, everybody says, well, you got to write out your business plan. You got to know how much money you're going to make. You got to know how much you're going to invest. And how are you going to do that when you don't even know what works yet? How are you going to do that? You can't do that. I had no clue what to sell, where to sell it, how I was going to make money, how I was going to market it. I didn't know how to type. Okay. I didn't even know how to type. And if I didn't know how to type, how in the world was I going to start an online business? Paul says having the right mindset is everything. Second is knowing what you want. Yeah, and we're going to get to that too in this training too, Paul. So that's a good point that you just made. Take action and revise later. And that's another good statement. I like that too. And that's what I did. So what did I do? I said, well, I looked on eBay and I looked on Amazon and I found the number one selling product. I said, if I can just find the number one selling product, I can be successful at that. Okay. And the number one selling product was cell phone cases. This was in 2009. Cell phone cases was it. I mean, man, people were buying cell phone cases. So I got into selling cell phone cases because I thought that would be it. And what happened was, you see what happened was, I was selling these cell phone cases and I was making like 20, 30, 40 cents every time I would sell one. And I would have to, you know, package it up. I would have to process the order. I would have to pay my fees to eBay and I made 20 or 30 cents on each one. Okay, I wasn't making much money. And then what happened was I would have to buy inventory, maybe 50 or 100 of these cell phone cases. And I would sell some of them, but then the other ones wouldn't sell because people would switch their phones and they would need a different kind of cell phone case. So I would just take those extra ones and I'd put it in my walk-in closet. I had a walk-in closet. And one day I got up and I opened the door to the walk-in closet and I couldn't get in the walk-in closet because I had so much leftover inventory that did not sell. I couldn't get into the walk-in closet. And I'm scratching my head. I'm going, I got to get rid of some of this stuff. So I started selling those cell phone cases in bulk to other people who wanted to start a cell phone case business. Okay. So I would sell 50 or 100 of them in a big box and ship it out to them. And I lost money on them. And I lost money on the whole venture. And people could say to me, well, you were a failure, JR. That's what happened to you. You started a business and you were a failure. Now, if they look at me today and they say, well, gee, you made, $120,000 yesterday. Okay. They would say, well, no, you're not a failure. You're successful. But that cell phone business got me to here. And that's what I want to tell you. You've got to get started because you don't know where it's going to lead you. Those cell phone cases led me to camping gear, and camping gear led me to selling this company's survival food. And when that company got screwed up, I started my own survival food company. And when that wasn't selling enough, I started this canned meat company. And then that grew into me doing courses, and that grew into me doing YouTube channels. And guys, you just got to get started. You got to get started. It's going to lead you in so many directions. You're going to learn so many new things. You're going to uncover things that you would never uncover. Now, that company that I worked for has since been sold, that automotive group. And some of the people I work with are still there. It's been 12 years. They're still there. And they're still complaining. And they're still saying, I'm not making enough. If they would just up my pay a little bit. Just a little bit. I don't need a whole lot more to get by. I just need a little bit. And some of the people have left. Some of the people have died. People changed over the years, right? But they're still at the same place, even though they're internally changing and externally they're getting older. They're still doing the same thing, and they're letting some other person make all the decisions for them because they think this is security. It's not. I feel more secure every day now than I ever have in my life because I get up every day and I do things that support my life. I do things that build my business. I know I can depend on me. I know that because I have taken care of myself for 12 years. I've done what it's taken to take care of myself. So you've got to get out of that mindset. Number one is change your mindset. You are not the job you're doing right now. You're not, you never have been. It's just something you selected to do for a while. What is Elon Musk? What is he? He's a creator, you would say. You would say, well, he can create anything. He can do anything. And you know why he can do so many things? Because he tries so many things. How many things have you tried? How many things have you tried to do? How many things have you failed at? If you haven't failed a lot, you aren't trying a lot, because guess what? That is what happens when you start a business. As a matter of fact, that is my number 3. Realize you're going to fail. Realize you're going to have failures. Realize things are going to go wrong. Now, you say, well, I don't want to fail. And I'm going to laugh at that. I'm going to say, well, sorry, that is part of success, right? The athlete who can run, I don't know, a marathon in a set amount of time failed at that many times before. Time and time and time again, they failed at that. You know, some of the best, home run hitters in the world, right? How many times do they fail at bat? How many times do they strike out? Most of the time. So number 3, the big one here is, and this is, if you guys say, well, I just want the technical things I need to do, don't tell me all this mindset stuff. The mindset stuff will get you to the technical stuff. But you got to have the mindset first, because all the technical stuff in the world, if I teach you how to build a sales page and what products to sell and how much to sell them for and all that, and I give you all that, and you haven't changed your mindset and you never get started and you don't realize that you're going to fail, which is number 3, then you won't be successful. It's not going to work for you. It's not going to work for you, guys. All of these things I'm telling you right now are crucial to being successful at anything. Really being successful at anything. And guys, make use of the chat box there. Paul's really good about it. Some of you aren't so good about it. And I know you're here. Say hello, participate. Finding people to model is an easy way to get started and look at them from a tactics and strategy perspective. That's some technical stuff, Paul. But I think what he means is look around. There's successful people. Here's what I did. I looked around and I looked at people who are having success online. And I looked at them and I said, they're no different than me. They're no smarter than me. They're no better looking. Well, a lot of them are better looking, but the point is they didn't have anything that I didn't have. Yeah, sure, maybe they could type. So what? It's going to take me longer. I still can't type, by the way. But the point is, I looked around and I said to myself, if they could do it, I can too. I would love to hear the story on how you made the jump to becoming a manufacturer. The journey had to be interesting journey. Well, Paul, it was really simple. I actually was selling somebody else's product. It was another brand, and they quit delivering, and I got my account canceled at eBay, and I had money taken out of my account, and I ran into all kinds of difficulties, and I had to come up with my own brand. I would have never come up with my own brand if I hadn't lost my eBay account, if I hadn't have not had things delivered, if I hadn't have gotten screwed over by that company. I would have never, ever had my own brand. Stephen Davis, great presentation. Thank you so much, Stephen. I would appreciate that. I really do. I thank you for participating. You don't even have to tell me good things if you don't want, but just participate. The participation's not for me. It's not for me. It's for you. If you participate, if you start right now, if you do something right now, it's going to help you. And doing something can be as simple as putting a comment in there. That's a simple start, but it's starting, because here's what you're doing. You're participating in an online business, right? When you do that, got to bounce. Have a great weekend, gang. Looking forward to it. All right, Paul. We got a good crowd here today. So all of you guys, pick up the slack from Paul. Put a comment in there. This is going to help you. This is going to make you participate. This is the thing you need. Okay, this is the thing you need. So right now we're on realize you're going to fail. Realize you're going to fail. That's so important. Failure is good. Failure is great. Failure is awesome. Okay, it means that you tried something. If you never fail, that means you're not trying very hard. You're not stretching a whole lot. When I go to the gym, if I can easily lift a weight, or if you go to the gym and you can easily do 5 sit-ups, you're not trying hard enough. You've got to try past what you can do, because that's the only way you're going to grow. If you don't try to lift more weight than what you can currently lift, you'll never get stronger. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So you have to try these things. How did you develop the meat brand, and did you start doing private label or jump straight into a plan? I didn't really start the meat brand. Here's what happened. I was selling freeze-dried dehydrated foods, and all the people selling my food said, we need a protein. They started it. They said, hey, JR, this is what you need to do next. And I listened to them. I heard them. I said, oh, you want something else? Let me figure out how to do that. And then I figured out how to do that. But I got that input from people out there that was already selling my products. And here's the interesting thing. If I didn't start selling cell phone cases, which some people would look at and say you failed at, I would have never gotten to freeze-dried foods or canned meats. It wouldn't have ever happened. Because I failed at these other things, I learned to do new things. When you start, guys, and that's part of what I told you today, you got to get started before you know what's going to be successful. When you do that, you are going to grow. Okay. You are going to learn new things. You're going to discover new things. You're going to get stronger and better at what you do. Never saw a book on how to make canned foods for a living. No, there is no book on that one. And it's not canned foods. It's a very specialized canned meat that we do. It's very special. We're the only ones in the country that do this. Some people will fake it and pretend to have the same thing. They don't. Nobody has the process we do. And that's proprietary, but it works really well. And a lot of people buy it. Okay. Cheryl, Dean, Cornell. Hey, JR. So what's the biggest thing out there now? Effort. Effort, putting forth the effort. You know, I was talking to my daughter-in-law the other day, and she has a bird called Cinta, and the bird talks. And she started a, is it TikTok? No, Instagram account. And the bird has thousands of followers now. And Facebook contacted her and said, we want you to do reels and we'll pay you. And she made, I think, $12 or something in a day. And I said, Cheryl, my first sale was $10. And yesterday I made $62,518. $62,518. Now, $62,000 in a day, you may say, well, JR, that's a lot of money. It's not. It's not, because we've had days where over 6 figures. I've had days that are only 5 figures too. But I would have never gotten to that stage if I didn't put forth the effort. And it's not the product. It's not the product. Everybody's out there going, I want to find the right product. I want to find the right program to promote. It's not any of that. That's what I'm trying to teach you today in this training. What it is that you go out there and actually start doing something, and you're going to uncover all these things. See, if you don't go out there and get started, you can't look at the landscape and figure out what's going to work. It's impossible. If I hadn't failed at selling cell phone cases, then I wouldn't be able to figure out how to do the things I'm doing now. I had to fail at that first, and you're going to have to too. It's part of the growth. That's what you got to do. And if you stay in a job because you think you are that job, right? You're sorely ripping yourself off. You're not that job. I was not a car person. Okay. I was not. Okay. I am a salesperson. I'll give you that one. I'm a salesperson, and I'm a marketing person, but I'm not any particular job, no more than I was a forklift operator when I drove a forklift in Portsmouth, Virginia at a pickle factory at Best Foods. That's what I did in college. I drove a forklift at a pickle factory. My job was to, these big trucks would come in with these big crates of cucumbers, and I would have to forklift one of these crates and then drive it over to this conveyor belt and then tip it and dump it into this big bin, and it would go up in this conveyor belt into the building, and somehow miraculously they made pickles out of those. But I was not a forklift driver. I drove a forklift and they paid me for it. I washed dishes at Victoria Station Restaurant and they paid me for it, but I was not a dishwasher. You are not your job. That was the first thing I told you in this training today. Change your friggin' mindset. Tell yourself that that person who says that they have security for you because you're working in their business doesn't give a crap about you. And no offense, they shouldn't care about you. They should care about their family. All they're doing is using you to get to their goals. That's all they're doing. And there's nothing wrong with that, because when you start your business, you're going to hire people and you're going to pay them to help you get to your goals. That's how it works. And people say, well, they should care about me more at this company. They should want me to make more money. They should understand that I have bills. I had a person come in my office one day and they said, I have 5 kids. I need more money. I said, it's not my fault you had 5 kids. That doesn't mean the job's going to pay you more. And by the way, Cheryl, you know that person. So you look around the dealership with somebody who has a lot of kids and you're going to know who that is. And they worked in finance. But that person said to me, you need to pay me more because I have more bills than other people do. It doesn't work that way. It does work that way if you go out on your own and start your own business. Then it does work that way, because you can say, well, I want to put forth more effort. I want to put forth more effort because I have more bills. You can easily do that, okay? But you can't go to a job and do that. So the first one was change your mindset. The next one was get started and learn at the same time. And that's what I did. I learned, right? And then number 3 was realize you failed. Number 4 is the next one. And I've only got 5 of these. Number 4 is a pretty important one, I think. Number 4, and you can put it in the chat if you think you know what it is, but number 4 is what? What do you think number 4 is? It's decide what success is. Decide what success is. And there's a second part to this. Realize it's going to change. Realize it's going to change. When I quit that automotive group, I had in my brain what success was, and I'm going to share it with you right now. Success to me was if I could make half of what I was making by running these car dealerships, I would be happy, because I hated my boss. I didn't like the way he treated me. I didn't like what was going on. I didn't like the way they treated customers. I didn't like any of that. So I decided what success was. Success to me was making a salary that would be equivalent to 1/2 of what I made at the dealership. Now, what happened? I ended up making more. I ended up, some days I make more in a day than I used to make in an entire year. And I made a good 6-figure salary, which means some days I sell over 6 figures. That's not bad. I had one of my vendors the other day send me a PO for $73,000. One PO, $73,000. I would have never gotten that PO, right, if I hadn't sold some cell phone cases, right? So it's getting started. It's not the hottest thing that's out there. It's not the biggest thing that's out there. It's none of that. It's not that at all. It's getting started, realizing you're going to fail and you're going to learn things. That's what's going to happen. There is no secret key to this. It doesn't exist. Now, every day, my wife and I look at marketing. We're all over marketing. We'll look at a sign and we'll say, that's a bad sign. We'll look at a truck and we're like, it doesn't say what they do. It has the name of their company. What's the point of that if it doesn't say what they do? We look at marketing all day long. We look at a menu in a restaurant. We see how they market their food. We look at a shopping center and we look at their signs and see how they market it. Because that's what we do every single day. We market stuff. We sell stuff, okay? And we try to sell the best stuff we can sell. Whether it's my training, whether it's a book I've written, whether it's my food products, whether it's my inner circle, no matter what it is, we try to sell the best stuff we possibly can. And that's something you got to do. That's something you got to do. So we're at number 4 right now. If you're playing along, we're at number 4. All right. And number 4 was decide what success is. And my idea of what success is has changed dramatically. Now, I don't really look at money so much anymore, though it is a real good indicator if you're doing the right things, right? If you're making a lot of money, you're probably doing a lot of the right stuff, okay? Unless you're cheating people and doing stuff wrong, and we're going to exclude that. We're going to say you're an honest person, okay, who wants to make money. So number 1 was change your mindset. You are not your job. Number 2 was get started and learn at the same time, which is what I did. Number 3 is realize you're going to fail, and you will. But that failure is going to help you find the good stuff. Number 4 is decide what success is, and this will change. My idea of success is not to earn half of what my old salary is, because it would be terrible now. I can't imagine trying to live off that, because I can go where I want now. I can wear what I want, right? I am in the house I want, okay? I can drive what I want, though I don't spend money on cars. I just don't. I have a deposit on the Tesla truck, but I've been driving the same car for almost 10 years now. I don't care about it. It doesn't matter to me, because sometimes I go to bad neighborhoods, because they have some really good food restaurants and I want to go there, and you can't drive up in some Ferrari or Lamborghini. Could I buy one of those? Yeah. I don't want to. I don't need it to get a girl or any of that. I think some people do that. They get cars, they get possessions to attract people. And I think that's the wrong way to go about it, because think about who you're going to attract with a big gold watch or a fancy car. Who you're going to attract? Somebody who wants your money. That's who you're going to attract, okay? So that doesn't matter to me so much. I will tell you a funny thing the other day. The neighborhood I'm in, there's some nice cars. There are some Lamborghinis and Ferraris and Bentleys and all those. And there's these 2 Bentleys I see all the time. And the glass in the Bentleys is totally darkened. You can't see the person inside. And I said to my wife the other day, I said, what's the point? What's the point in having a car that looks like that, right? What's the point in having a car that looks like that and nobody knows you're in it? I mean, what's the point? It can't really ride that much better. I've driven in a Rolls Royce. It doesn't ride that much better. The point of having a car like that is so people can see you, right? The point of having a big diamond ring is so you can go out and show it off. I mean, if you just put it in your jewelry box and you don't wear it, it doesn't matter, right? When you're buying these possessions, guys, when you're doing things, fancy name brands and Louis Vuitton this and all that stuff, and I don't do any of that. But when you're doing that, you're doing it because you want to feel good about who you are. And I'll tell you what makes you feel good about who you are: accomplishing things, doing things, contributing, helping others. That's what's going to make you feel good. And it's also, sideline, it's going to make you a lot of money. It's going to make you a lot of money. So I've been through 4 of them. I want to do it one more time. I'm going to give you the 5th one in just 1 second here. We're at 10:30. It's time for the 5th one. And it's change your mindset. You're not your job. Get started and learn at the same time, which is what I did. Realize you're going to have failures, and everybody does that's successful. Every single person, I don't care who it is. They all have some sad stories, okay? Decide what success is, and this can change, and you need to change what success is. And success can be money. It can be freedom. You know, I wanted freedom, and I wanted a little bit of money, but I wanted freedom more than I wanted money. I didn't start an online business to make a whole lot of money. I mean, if I made a whole lot of money, that'd be great. I would enjoy that, but I wanted the freedom to go where I want, do what I want, not have somebody tell me what time I had to eat lunch. Do you have somebody tell you what time to eat lunch? Sometimes you aren't hungry when they want you to go to lunch. Sometimes you get hungry before they allow you to go to lunch. Is that what you want to continue doing? You got to ask yourself that question. Are you getting younger? I've never met anybody that was getting younger. Matter of fact, I had people, and they would hold up a picture of themselves and they'd say, hey, this is a picture of me when I was younger. I'm like, all pictures of you are when you're younger. All pictures are. Okay, so we're going to go to a number 5 right now. Number 5, if you're keeping track, we're at number 5, and I've reiterated what the first 4 are. Number 5 is what? What is number 5? See if you can guess what number 5 is. Realistically, how much of a financial investment do you think it takes to get started? I started with $100 on my credit card. So I technically started with zero. I have credit cards now that I could buy a house with, right? I never had credit cards like that before. Never in my life did I. But getting into doing stuff online. See, here's the thing about online, guys, and you may be missing the point. You may think that selling online is some kind of fad or something different. This has been going on for years. People have been ordering from Sears and Roebuck catalog, you know, for over 100 years. Now I think they're out of business now. But the point is, this is not a fad. This is how people shop now. And if you don't take advantage of this, if you don't go out there and you don't just do something, okay, then you're missing out, because you're watching all these other people make money, make millions of dollars. I have millions and millions of dollars. Okay. It blows my mind. Sometimes I'll log into my website and I see how many millions of dollars went through it. And I'm like, wow, where did it all go? I mean, I got a little bit left, but the point is, it takes more effort than it does money. If money could buy you a business, you could just go out and buy a business that's really profitable. People go out and buy franchises all the time thinking they're going to be successful, when in fact, the average person doesn't realize this. When you buy a franchise, you're less likely to be successful than if you start your own business without a franchise. Did you know that? You're less likely. Did you know that the average McDonald's owner only makes about $200,000 a year? Now, that sounds like a lot of money to some of you, but it's not. They have to invest millions to get it. They can take that same money, put it in the stock market, and make it not even have to work, right? And if something goes wrong, like their minimum wage goes up too high or something, it wipes out most of their profits. Because if you've got, 8, 10, 12, 15 employees, and you up their wages $5 an hour times, 10, 12 hours a day, that can wipe out your profit. So buying a business is not the way to go. The number one thing I told you in the beginning was your mindset and how you changed how you think. You've got to change how you think. This is the hardest thing I get across to people. I'm going to give you number 5 now. I'm going to give you number 5, and this is a big, big, big one. Continue to learn new things. Now you say, oh, Cheryl, I do that anyhow. I bet you don't. I bet you can't tell me what you learned new yesterday about marketing, about sales, about, putting something online and making more profit. I bet you can't tell me that. I spend a lot of my time watching and reading new things. A lot of my time watching and reading new things. And it gives me ideas. It gives me ideas. It lets me go, oh, I could do this, or oh, I could do that. Those things matter a lot. And guys, use that chat box while you can. I'm going to be gone in a few minutes and you won't get a chance to ask a question, you know, so make sure you use that chat box. It's super important that you do that. These 5 things, guys, are the secret to quitting your job. I quit. Matter of fact, I remember the day I quit because I went into my boss and Jimmy, I'll just say Jimmy, and I said, I'm going to quit. And he had been threatening me, oh, we don't have a good month. We're going to have to, you know, put you in another position. We're going to have to do this. I just got so sick of that crap. And if you're sick of it, listen to this video 3 or 4 times. If you're really sick of it, listen to this video 3 or 4 times. They are not going to change your future. It's up to you. They are not going to make you secure. It's up to you. They're never going to make you secure. They're never going to care about you. They're never going to want more for you. They're never going to like your family more than they like their own. It's not going to happen. It's unrealistic. It's just not going to happen. You've got to realize life ain't like that. And you can get angry about it, and you can complain about it, and you can bitch about it, and you can moan about it. Fancy Empress, I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. What's your most favorite way to advertise your products that actually work? Here's the deal. Here's the deal in advertising. It all works if you do it right. And advertising online is like no other medium because you can test it. I can run it to certain audiences. So when we run ads online, which I'm not running any right now just because we have so much business, I can't keep up with what I have. So I don't need to get more business because I'm running out of products. But when you advertise online, you don't run one ad, you run 20 or 50 ads, okay? Different ones to different audience. Then each one may go to 15, 20 different audiences. And the majority of those are going to fail. So what I've done with my ads when I run 50 to 100 ads is I've figured out which ones don't work, but some of them will work. And those some that do work is the ones that I put more money into, and then I cancel all the other ones. So you can't do that if you're putting an ad in the newspaper of Bill Shepard. You can't do that. You know, you don't know if it worked or not. But online, you'll know because you're targeting audiences, you're targeting ages, you're targeting demographics. And when you target all those things, some of them don't work, and you cancel out those things and you continue to spend money on the things that do work. That's how you do advertising. Unfortunately, most people don't advertise that way. They say, I'm going to spend $100 a day on this one ad, and they run that one ad. That one ad doesn't work, and they're like, oh, it doesn't work. Advertising doesn't work. That's not how you do it online. You got to run a whole bunch of ads and spend maybe $2 or $3 on each one, and you'll figure out ones that work and ones that don't work, and it's a simple process. It really is. And that's what I would say as far as advertising goes. I'm getting some good comments in here. Amen to that, Cheryl says. Very nice. I used to get alerts to your morning videos, but lately I haven't been getting them. Well, no, Richard, you got to let me check and see if you're still tagged and everything. I'll make sure that you're still tagged. Richard's my buddy in real estate, done very well in real estate, and is able to travel the world and do what he wants. And we meet up every now and then. Good to see you there, Richard. The alert to all is selected. Huh. I'll check that. Maybe you're not tagged. I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's weird. Do you have your, what do you call notifications on YouTube turned on? Because that's something that, you know, have you used digital billboards? Digital billboards. Not quite sure what you mean by that. There's so many acronyms and names for stuff. Fancy Empress, if you would put in there exactly what you mean there, and I can answer that. And I'll tell you the best way to do advertising is to give free content, is to write a blog, is to do videos, is to do free training, to just give to people. Just give and don't expect anything back. And they'll look for your other stuff. I had that all the time. You know, I have people that watch my videos for 3 or 4 years, and they'll join, you know, one of my memberships for $500 a month or $200 a month or $27 a month, or they'll buy a $1,000 course because I'm out here doing free stuff all the time. I think on this channel, I've got, I don't know, 1,300 videos, something like that. This, you would say, well, this isn't making you any money, JR. You're just giving free information. But it does, because people learn about me and they learn who I am and what's going on. Let's see here. I saw an ad marketing billboards, but they are digital. Yeah, anytime somebody advertising, I kind of shy away from it. Google never runs ads on their ads. I don't think they do that because the stuff works and they don't need to. So I would say I would stay away from that. But I would tell you that the number one best way to advertise is to give people free stuff. You know, let's say you're selling some type of makeup, do makeup tutorials. Let's say that you're trying to sell an exercise program, do free videos on workouts. There's so many ways you could go about doing this, guys. There really is. LOL, good tip. Yeah, if they're trying to advertise their own stuff, they probably don't know anything about advertising. So that's what I got for you today. I do want to reiterate these things real quick. For those of you who came in late, you didn't hear them. There's only 5 steps to this. 5 steps, guys. Change your mindset. You are not your job. Think about that. Let that sink in. Just because you've been doing something for a while does not mean that that's who you are. That's just what you chose to get up and go do every single day, right? Get started, and at the same time learn. If you don't know where to get started, throw a rock. Wherever it lands, start there. But damn it, start. I know too many people, Cheryl, if you're still on here, you know this for a fact, that have been in that dealership thing for years and years, and probably decades now. And they still are just satisfied, but they still get up every day and go do the same thing. Makes no sense to me. If you're not satisfied with something, why do you keep doing it over and over and over? Think about that. Number 3, realize you will fail it. You're going to have failures. They're good. Deal with it. Okay. Toughen up, buttercup. You're going to have some failures. Number 4, decide what success is and realize you're going to need to change it. Your idea of success could change over time, right? My idea of success has changed over time. My money goals are bigger nowadays. You know, I want 6-figure days. That's what I want, 6-figure days. I used to want a 6-figure year. I used to think that would be good. And then the last thing is continue to learn. This stuff moves fast. Don't let that scare you that it moves fast. So too many people say, oh my gosh, it's so scary. Everything's moving so fast. Just move along with it. Jump in the river and keep going. Okay. And if you jump in there and keep going, you're going to learn new stuff. You're going to become that person that people are going to come to, that are going to want to learn from you, that are going to want to be around you. Okay. That's the stuff that matters. Let's see here. What else we got in here? Including me. Well, Cheryl, stop it. Stop beating your head against the wall. Start something. When you start something and you get a little bit of success, what's going to happen is it's going to fuel you to do more. That's what happened with me. I sold something and I made $10. I was excited as hell. People may look at me and say, well, you're insane. $10 is nothing. Really? Well, 6-figure days or something. And that's how I got here. That's how I got here, by doing those things. 15 years and still using your script. Cheryl was a person that worked for me, guys, if you don't know, in the automotive industry. And, you know, we developed certain things that worked. And I'm glad you're still using it, but stop. Go do something else now. Go do something else. Repeat number 2, please. Yes, number 2. Let me get to number 2 here. And I had them in an order. I mean, I know what they are, obviously. Get started and learn at the same time. I got started by selling cell phone cases on eBay. And by doing that, I learned what not to do and what to do. I learned 2 different things. Okay. These things work, guys. Google my name, right? Watch some of my videos. I'm not BSing you. Okay. If you want to make money and you want to listen to one of these people that tell you you can only work 4 hours a week, you don't have to put forth any effort, just give them some money, you're insane, because it's not going to happen. You're going to have to put forth effort. I had somebody one day who bought one of my courses and said, I feel so good now. I know I'm going to be successful. I bought your course. I said, that's no, no, that's not going to make you successful. What's going to make you successful is using the course and applying what it teaches you. The course is not going to make you successful. I could hand that course out to 1,000 people, and I bet you 10 of them would be successful. What happened to the others? They never did anything. That's the biggest problem. People don't do anything. Go do something, guys. Apply this. Don't wait. You heard this training today. Go do something today. Why not do it today? Why not? Now, some people will say, well, you don't always get good results. Right now, you've got 8 people watching you. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. See, that doesn't offend me. It doesn't hurt my feelings, because afterwards, hundreds will see this, maybe thousands. Maybe they won't. I don't care. I'm trying to help you guys, okay? If we get real good results, I mean, I could be very entertaining on here and curse and scream and yell and jump up and down, and I could up my views. That's not my goal. My goals change. Remember, my goals change. I said my goals change. My goal is to teach other people how to do this now. My goal now is to motivate other people to do the same thing I'm doing. That's my goals now. What's your goals? Are you going to keep doing what you've been doing? Some of you will. What a shame. What a shame. You guys have a great day. I got to head out to a doctor's appointment and lunch. And man, I really appreciate you being here. I appreciate all your comments. If you like this, put a comment below. I know some of you don't watch this live, and I get that. You can't take off on a Friday morning and sit back and watch me talk. You may be watching the evening, the weekend, whatever. Still put your comments in there. Put your questions in there. I come back and answer them. I answer 100% of these comments. It's hard to do. I get a lot of them. I have 1,300 videos and people putting comments on them, and I still come back and answer them. And it's me answering them, not somebody else. If you want more information on my training, it will be in the description when this video has been uploaded to YouTube. So you can look down there. You can grab that stuff if you want. I do have affiliate links there. If you're looking for any of the equipment I use, any of that kind of stuff, you'll find that in the description below. I really appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you participating. I thank you so much. This channel would be nothing without you. So make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you ring the bell. Turn on all bell notifications so you're notified each and every time I go live. Guys, have a great day, and I'll talk to you real soon. Matter of fact, I'll be back Monday. I'll see you Monday.